When Pep Guardiola arrived in England, he didn't conquer the Premier League overnight. In fact, he did the opposite. He watched. He studied. He admitted publicly that English football was louder, faster, more violent in its rhythm than anything he'd known before. The rain, the second balls, the transitions, the chaos. For the first time in his career, Pep had to adapt to the league instead of bending it to his will. Fast forward to now, and that version of doubt feels almost laughable. Because what Manchester City are doing right now isn't just dominance, it's evolution. Again. And this latest version might be the most unsettling of them all. City are tearing through competitions with a calm brutality that doesn't even look dramatic anymore. 7 straight wins, 14 victories in their last 17 games. Top of the Premier League without stress. The Champions League navigated like a training drill. A domestic cup run that barely registers as an inconvenience. This isn't momentum. This is structural superiority. To understand why this version feels different, you have to understand that Pep City has already lived multiple lives. The first was about control, slow, suffocating possession, fullbacks tucking in, midfielders recycling the ball until opponents mentally collapsed. That was about removing risk from football entirely. The second life was about total dominance, the false 9 era, endless rotations, positional play taken to its extreme, defenders stepping into midfield, midfielders becoming forwards. And at the heart of it all, a defensive spine so secure that counterattacks barely existed. City didn't just win games, they prevented football from happening. But what we're seeing now isn't control or sterilization. It's something sharper, faster, more violent in how it punishes mistakes. This is the third evolution, and it's built for modern chaos. The obvious turning point was Erling Haaland. You don't add a striker like that without changing the geometry of your team. But the real shift didn't happen because of him. It happened because of what City learned when they didn't have their safety net. When Rodri was removed from the equation, Pep didn't replace him like for like. He didn't slow the game down. He didn't retreat into safety. He did what he always does at this stage of a project. He leaned forward. Instead of controlling transitions, City started weaponizing them. The recruitment told the story. Explosive ball carriers, wide players who could destroy defenders in open space, midfielders who could survive physical duels and still play forward. And then came the signing that unlocked everything. Rayan Cherki. Suddenly, City weren't just a team that moved the ball well. They became a team that terrified defenders the moment structure broke. This version of City doesn't wait for you to settle. It attacks while you're still thinking. They are now one of the most devastating transition teams in the league. Turnovers aren't moments of danger anymore. They're invitations. One vertical pass, one burst of acceleration, and the entire pitch opens up. The shape reflects that intent. What looks like a narrow system on paper becomes a nightmare in motion. 2 creators floating between the lines, fullbacks stepping into midfield, wingers dragging defenders wide before disappearing from the play entirely. It's fluid, but not chaotic. Aggressive, but calculated. At the center of it all is Rayan Cherki. And this isn't hype. This is production. He's delivering assists at a league-leading rate, but numbers don't really explain his value. Cherki doesn't just create chances. He changes defensive behavior. He's 2-footed, fearless, and completely uninterested in playing safe football. He dribbles when others recycle. He attempts passes others wouldn't even see. Defenders don't just mark him, they panic around him. Entire back lines shift 5 yards toward his side just to remove the threat of a one-on-one. And when that happens, space appears elsewhere. That's where the damage becomes inevitable. If you love the beautiful game, stick with us. Subscribe and see all our future football videos, because Phil Foden has learned how to weaponize patience. This season, Foden isn't sprinting into space early. He's waiting. He starts deeper. He drifts quietly. And then he arrives exactly where defenders don't want him. At the edge of the box, facing goal, with time to shoot. That zone has become lethal. His shooting from distance is no longer opportunistic. It's deliberate. It's rehearsed. It's ruthless. Opponents drop deep to protect Haaland, collapse toward Cherki to stop the dribble, and forget that Foden exists until the net ripples. When those two share the pitch, City don't just score more, they score faster. The rhythm of the game changes. Pressure compounds. One goal becomes two, two becomes inevitability. But none of this works without the structure underneath it. And this is where Guardiola has been at his most inventive. City's fullbacks are no longer wide defenders. They're midfielders in disguise. They step inside, absorb contact, win second balls, and overload the center. It allows City to dominate physical spaces without sacrificing creativity. Players like Matheus Nunes and Nico O'Reilly give City something they didn't always have: athletic resistance. They can survive scrappy phases, win duels, and still keep the ball moving forward. Add in the technical steel of Tijani Reinders, and suddenly City aren't just smarter than you. They're stronger too. This team doesn't get bullied anymore. It doesn't slow down under pressure, it speeds up. And then there's Haaland. At this point, the numbers are bordering on absurd. Records that were once considered untouchable are falling in seasons, not careers. He isn't padding stats. He isn't scoring tap-ins in dead games. He's ending matches early. What makes him terrifying in this version of City is space. This is the most open vertical City team he's played in. And once Haaland gets moving, there is no recovery run fast enough, no defensive line brave enough, no goalkeeper positioned well enough. He doesn't need volume. He needs one moment, one channel, 1/2 second of hesitation, and the game is over. The scariest part? City can still beat you in every other way. They can slow the game down and suffocate you with possession. They can bypass your press in 3 passes. They can win aerial duels, second balls, physical battles. They can overwhelm you creatively or overwhelm you athletically. This isn't a team built around one idea. It's a team with answers to every question before it's even asked. Pep Guardiola hasn't simplified Manchester City. He's expanded them. He's built a squad that can exist in multiple realities within the same match. And right now, no one in the league can force them into discomfort for long enough to survive. So when people say this feels different, they're right. This isn't just form, it isn't confidence, it's completion. The Premier League has seen dominant teams before. It has seen great managers. It has seen generational players. But what's unfolding right now feels like something closer to inevitability. Because this version of Manchester City doesn't just beat you, it adapts, accelerates, and ends you in whatever way hurts most. And that should worry everyone.